What's up, everybody? Welcome to Chewing the Rag. We'll probably do a little bit of a short episode today. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I've been pretty sick as of late, as of recent. I don't really know the proper way to say that, but definitely been a little bit sick. It was just like something in the nose, whatever, but now I'm like coughing. Sounds like my voice is starting to go. Hopefully, that's not the case. I had two job interviews. Your boy is trying to get out of his current place of employment. I had like two or three technically if you count over the phone. I have a second interview with the other place tomorrow. So like I've been using my voice a lot. I've been playing video games on the PC, which is a little different from me. I'm usually a console guy, but buddy got an Xbox and PC has an Xbox app. So I was like, screw it. We'll give it a whirl over here. So I've been just nonstop talking, I feel like, not letting my body rest. Household's all emotional. We if you follow the pod on social media, posted about my dog passing away. If you are familiar with the pod, there's always like an inside joke. My dog had a LARPAR, laryngeal paralysis, and there was always an inside joke because you would hear him in the other room going and hacking up, and I'd be like, "Oh, that's my dog dying in the background." He was legitimately, unfortunately, dying in the background, but that was just I know a couple people would like message and laugh about that or post about that. So Scouty Pout has passed. He was a good dog. I'm really like I'm into like the outcast dogs. I love like pit bulls. I love Rottweilers. I love mastiffs. I like the dogs that people cross the street when they're on the same side. They want to get away from them. I mean, I like every dog. Don't get me wrong. I would never own every dog. I would never own a Chihuahua. But if you have one, I'll pet one. I've talked about this before. I prefer dogs like 50 pounds and up, definitely closer to the 100-pound range. But I will never like tell your dog to get the hell away from me. I'll pet any dog. I'll be friendly to any dog. I just personal preference like to have bigger, larger, scarier looking dogs, even if they're not scary. I have two pit bulls now. One's a pit bull mix. One that's pretty much might as well be a full pit. And they're both very friendly, high energy dogs. But when you look at them, the one's only 5 months and he's a little tank already. And Ollie, man, he's been on the pod a few times. He's the black lab pit bull mix, the bigger guy, goofy ear. He's close to about 80 pounds himself. So, but my point was those are the types of dogs that I look for. I love golden retrievers, but I don't know if I'd ever own one. I love all types of dogs, but Scout was the exception. My wife, knew Scout when he was a puppy. She babysat, she dog sat for that family, and then they wanted to get rid of Scout. And we were like, yeah, we'll take him. We already have Oliver. So we brought Scouty in, and he was a part of our family for years. I mean, he was what 11, 12 years old, something like that. So, you know, but he was definitely the exception. He could hang with Oliver, which that's a task in itself. That dude's so high energy. And the house we had before this was fenced in, and those two, you would just let them out there, and they would just go at it. I mean, he's an Australian Shepherd, so they're high energy. They're herding dogs. You know what I mean? And then it gets to the point where it's just gets sad, especially like dogs like him. That's usually in their hips. His legs started to go a little bit. It took him a little while to stand up, and then that like hacking noise that you guys would hear if you were familiar with the podcast. If you're not, you listen to any old episode, you'll probably hear it. Any before this setting, pretty much, you'll probably hear it. And I went to the vet for a separate reason completely. It had nothing to do with his laryngeal paralysis. And it was more about like, he was throwing up and just kind of like sitting in it, which is really abnormal for him. So we were like, let's just bring him. It was a Sunday. We had to go to like the emergency room for dogs. And she's like, yeah, I mean, everything was blah, blah, blah. And then she started talking about his airways and how much worse they looked. And I was like, so had to make that decision. And it was a tough one. It's always tough. It's never easy to put a pet down. I've done it multiple times now, and it's not like it gets any easier. These are animals that are in your household every day, especially him. He was a big fluffy dog. He's always panting, keeping up with these younger. Well, Oliver's not younger, but you would swear he is by the way he acts. But like just keeping up with these guys, he was always panting. And now the house, it's just like, it's a different feel. It's very quiet compared. I mean, it's not because the other dogs are constantly going at it. But once they rest, like usually Scout, because he was so restless, you would hear that breathing no matter what. So now it's definitely a quietness that we're getting used to. It'll take a while. It was something I was nervous about, like explaining to my son. We just kind of came right out with it and was like, he passed away. Like that's really, I'm not a religious guy, so like for me to be like, oh, he's in heaven, like I don't, you know what I mean? It's I don't want. That's something my son, when he's older, he can determine if he wants to believe in a God or a heaven or whatever it might be. So we're just like, I guess we spoke about it in religious terms without doing it. When it gets cloudy, we're like, oh, Scout like being in, rainy weather or windy weather. He's like, yeah, I bet you that's Scout. So it's like, we're not saying like, oh, he's in heaven, but just little things in the sky and referring it and comparing it to the dog. And it's just made it easier, I think, on him. He's 4, it's his grandmother passed away, my mother passed away. He doesn't really understand. She's not in the household, you know what I mean? This is the first real loss in the household. So definitely not easy for anybody. You always feel like your last day with the dog, you weren't nice enough, but like we didn't know it was the last day. He's puking, the other dog's puking, we're yelling, like, you guys gotta stop. Like, um, you want to beat yourself up, but we love our dogs. There's no way none of these guys have a bad life, especially the puppy. That dude's got it made. And, we got him because we were like, we're not dumb. We knew Scout was old. We knew he was on his way out. We're not trying to replace Scout, but Oliver's always had a brother, always had another dog, always had something. So we were definitely prepared for that. And, excuse me. And that was the main reason I don't think if Scout was younger, if Scout was even like 6 years old, I don't think we would have got a puppy. We've had other opportunities to have 3 dogs and we didn't. But as Scout got older, as Oliver gets older, it was like, let's bring in another dog, just prepare everybody for the worst. And, you think you have more time than you do sometimes. That's all it is. It's like that with everything. I was like that with my mom. This isn't like sad sniffles. I preface this, I'm sick. I'm not going to cry. I did enough of that. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm a tough guy. Definitely did enough of that this week. I'm good. This is just sick sniffles. I didn't bring any tissues in here because I don't plan to even bring a drink. So that's great. Might have to pause and go get one. But I did the same thing with my mom. I talked about this with Jay March on our episode where you're so used to her going into the hospital that it's like routine. It's like, yeah, I'll try to visit you after work. Like, you're familiar with this. She goes every so often, gets her fluids drained, blah blah blah. But then there's that last hospital visit where it's like, no, there are no more after this because your mother has passed. And it's like, okay, that's a thing now. I don't have my mother here with me. Don't have my dog here with me. It comes to a point where that routine thing isn't so routine. And I've experienced that twice in this year. So, you know, you you always think you have more time. My mother was young. My mother wasn't even 50 when she passed. My grandmother was young when she passed. Um, I'm cousins who unfortunately died before they hit 30, I believe. So people die really young in my family. So I'm very familiar with feeling like you have more time than you actually do with a lot of people. And felt the same with the dog. A dog is so weird because it just flips one day. I experienced it with my dogs growing up. I experienced it with Scout, obviously. Oliver's gonna. I don't even want to think about that dog because he's so high energy. You would like if you didn't know Oliver, and obviously looking at him, he's got gray in the face, but the dude, like, I have these chairs here because he has to come in and jump over, and if I'm playing video games up here, he's always right here. Like that's my dude. And the moment I realized, like, oh, he can't jump anymore, that's gonna drive my head through a wall. You don't even want to think about it. You don't, but unfortunately, it's a real thing. So I don't know. Let's not be too sad. We been playing Payday 3. I didn't even know Payday 3 was a thing. I was sitting here scrolling, just looking at video games, and I was like, Payday 3, that's got to be old, right? My buddy McKay, Dark Horse 6, he's been on here, talk about him a lot. He He's like, oh, if it's a payday game, no way, it's definitely old. It's like a year old. So we've been playing that. We've been masking up, robbing people. We have a buddy who just, Chris's brother actually, just he loves going loud. That dude is. We're like, all right, let's try to be stealthy, and he's like, mask up, bang, security guard's dead, guys. We can move in. It's like, dude, what do we? That's we didn't want to do that this time. We're trying to be quiet, but it's been a lot of fun getting back into just it's you can only play so much like Call of Duty. You can only play so much like sports games. You want to change it up. I've been doing Sea of Thieves, trying to figure that out. Zach's like crashing into rocks. I'm just playing Happy Birthday on the accordion behind him, just stupid shit like that. And it's just like it reminds me of when like gaming was fun. I'm playing the Halo 3 campaign with Zach right now. It just I don't know. It reminds you of like probably the gaming that I missed out on, honestly. Excuse my sniffles. What's up, guys? We are going to take a quick break from this episode of Chewing the Rag to talk to you about Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a jitter-free clean energy company. They carry shakers, they carry energy powder, they carry rehydration drinks, gym bags. That hat back there is actually from Dubby. I got a keyboard, like a mouse pad right here from Dubby. Great company, great quality. I'm somebody that, midday, I want to grab an energy drink while I'm driving around. For work, have my coffee. After work, before recording, for example, let's caffeinate somehow. Dubby negates that. I swear, I have one shaker of Dubby a day is all I need to keep going. And right now, they're offering 20% off. That's 10% off more than what they used to. 20% off if you go to dubby.gg and use promo code CHEWIN at checkout. That's w.gg and use promo code CHEWIN at checkout. While you are out there browsing the web, taking a look around, be sure to go to chewintherag.com. We have new merch up, t-shirts, tank tops, hats. We got a bunch of like warm weather stuff out there. We've got a whole new different line of stuff from what we used to have. And also on that website, you can find the Discord. You can find all the social medias, where you can find you in the rag, the email to ask questions. The Discord right now is a lot of fun. We're constantly in there just playing games. We've got the Ask the Pod tab where you can ask questions, interact with everybody. We're trying to get that going. So chewintherag.com for merch, social medias, and everything else regarding Chewing the Rag. If you are enjoying the pod show, please be sure to like, rate, subscribe, and share on whatever platform you are listening on. Kind of helps just pick up the pace for us, the algorithm, all that fun, boring stuff that nobody wants to hear about. So if you're enjoying it, please be sure to do that. And thank you again for listening to Chewing the Rag. I'm partnering with Sticker Mule. I have a link in the description. If you are a content creator, band, podcast, anything at all, merch, anything that requires stickers, use the code down below, or link down below, rather. It's not a code. Click that link, sign up. It'll save you, I think it's like $10 on your first order, and they're already pretty inexpensive. As you can see from this picture here, I'm familiar with them. I use them for everything. I have like little goodie bags that I got from them whenever I mail stuff. And I also got, obviously, stickers from them. So Sticker Mule, use the link below, sign up, get a deal on stickers. Great company. Can't say enough good things about them. I've worked with them personally and for the pod and everything else. And they're local to myself, which is also a plus. Support the locals. Because I was very late to online gaming. If you're familiar with me, you're familiar with that. But if not, I didn't really have like, when people talk about like the Call of Duty lobbies, I only experienced that at friend's house. I didn't have Call of Duty online at home. I was barely ever home anyway. It would have been a waste if I did have it, but I didn't. I was very late to online gaming, like split screen gaming with my brothers and stuff. Sure, we had like the Nintendo 64s and whatnot, but like online gaming, like what I'm doing with these guys and whatnot, I didn't get into that until like PlayStation 4. I had an Xbox for a little bit, but like I said, I was never home. There was no point in me. By the time I got on Xbox 360, everybody was out like partying and stuff. There was there was nobody online to play with. So, but I imagine like what we're doing right now, just the goofy stuff on like Sea of Thieves and Payday, like that's probably what it was like in high school for everybody. And I'm not saying I haven't played video games since that. If you're familiar with me, I've been playing video games for years now. I'm just saying, like these games in particular, like Sea of Thieves is so goofy that he's steering a boat and he's trying to read a fucking map. Neither one of us know how to read because we're not fucking pirates. And I'm just sitting there with like a drum playing Happy Birthday or like a stupid ass banjo and just really goofy nonsense. I want to try to figure out how to get a stream going on PC. I'm an idiot. If anybody knows, feel free to hit me up and walk me through it. Like stream keys and whatnot. I prefer YouTube. Um, I I want to figure out if I could do it and also not experience lag or anything. I don't have the best monitors. I don't know if that really matters. I don't, I'm an idiot at what I do. I'm trying to figure stuff out, but yeah. If you have any ideas or anything at all that you could swing my way on how I could live stream through like a Twitch or a YouTube, just let me know. I genuinely have no clue how to get started. PlayStation was so easy. I just linked it, hit share, capture, whatever, broadcast, and I got it done. Excuse me. I'm definitely feeling not getting a drink or anything. Like I was like, oh, I'm sick. By the way, I didn't bring a drink up here. My nose is running and my dog died. So we're gonna be depressed and monotone for the rest of this episode. I but it's been a lot of fun doing that. Job interviews. I'm employed, obviously. I have a family to support. I have a job. Definitely looking at getting out. I have a second interview tomorrow. It's gonna be weird. Both the jobs are different than what I'm used to. I don't want to get in any details. It's funny because the one job's like, oh, what do you do outside of work? Like, what hobbies do you have? And I was like, I host a podcast, which I don't even like talking about, but I was just trying to say like something interesting. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really do much anymore. I bring my son to t-ball. I'm a dad. I play video games. Like, I'm not like doing MMA anymore. I'm not doing stand-up comedy anymore. Like, this is probably the most interesting like hobby I could have named. It's different than I play video games and occasionally I try to get a bunch of 30 to 45-year-old men to play flag football with me and hope they show up. Like, I was like, I host a podcast. And then I was hoping he'd just be like, oh, very cool. Very next question. What's the name of it? And I'm like, oh, shit. So I tell him the name. And then I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, well, maybe my last episode wasn't bad. And it's just me going like, you're a fat ass. There's no reason you should be asking about Ozempic if you're afraid to lift weights, you fat. And I'm like, oh my God, I hope this guy's not like, you know what I mean? He seemed like a younger, cool guy. And obviously, I specified in that episode, if you didn't listen, this was a conversation between me and a friend of mine. I wasn't just like going at people randomly for wanting Ozempic or anything like that. This was very specific to a conversation I had almost word for word through my phone. Said I was going to post the screenshots, never did. Don't care. They're on social media if you really want to see them. But yeah, it's been a week. It's been a week of good and bad. Mostly good. It's just the bad is very bad. It's not like the good's very good too. Of course, I'm looking at different opportunities for work and both hourly, both hours kind of fit my family schedule a little bit. Oh, excuse me. So that's nice. Very different. One is more in the evenings. One is very morning. So it's like, it's both sides of the coin. Both are jobs I'm interested in. I think both are going to offer me a position just based on the conversations I have with everybody. The one, like I said, I have a second interview already. So, and they're showing me like what they do in the department. So that's a good sign. So I think both are going to offer. I made a joke that I was gonna like get 3 hats. My current job offering one, job offering two, and just treat it like a college draft day. Just like put a hat on, but I'm committing to, and whatever it might be. Yeah, like that's really how it feels though. It's like, dude, all right, so do you want to stay with this job? No, I don't. I'll tell you right now. If anybody from this job is listening, because this episode's literally going to come out tomorrow, I mean, there's a finger. I don't know what to tell you. I don't want to work for you people anymore. Fire me if you really want. I don't care. Please don't, though. I have a family to support. I didn't get job offers yet. But no, I just don't. It's just not. Everything seems bad. I'm not going to talk about it. I don't want to badmouth my current company. If I take another position, then we'll get into some of the nitty gritty. We'll get into some of the meat and potatoes. But no, right now it's not. Nothing's really too bad. It's just, it's not ideal. That doesn't really. I don't really see anything else happening there positive to me. Um, I think it's just time for myself and for them to move on from each other. Maybe just go see other people. You guys, I'm not gonna leave them hanging. I'll do the whole 2 weeks thing. I'll do the whole fucking non the cordial nonsense, but I think it's time. I think it's time for everybody. I think we need to go through some changes. So we need to do what Tupac said. But yeah, man, other than that, everything's been everything's been pretty good. I really don't have any complaints. We miss our dog. That's it. Week's been week's been good, week's been bad. That's life. That's just what it is. We just truck and get through it. Hug your pets, you know? Don't fucking name call them, even if it's a cat. I don't like cats, but hug your cat. Fuck your cat, but hug your cat. I I'm very. This is gonna sound bad. I'm talking about pets and whatnot. I'll never shit. If you own a cat, good for you. I'll pet your cat. I don't hate animals. I don't hate on animals. I would never own a cat, but I'm very thankful that we won't be a cat household. My wife has cat allergies, so does my son. So me personally, I don't want to own a cat. If I'm at your house and you own a cat, I'll always pet it. Always be nice to it. If the fucker does that thing that cats love to do where I'm walking by and it jumps out from under the table and claws my leg, I'm not going to be happy. That's my main reason. They're all fucking, dude, they're so sneaky. They're little fucking ninjas and they're assholes about it. They're not like a cool sneaky. Like I'm not sitting here and I'm watching like a fucking cat, like a ninja, like just wall walking, fucking tiptoe and shit. No, it's like an asshole sneaky. Like, why, dude? Why are you always under a table? Why are you always under something I need to put my legs at, and you're always fucking there every time? And I'm stupid because I fall for it every time. I'm like, oh, I haven't seen the cat in a while, and then fucking push my chair, and Jake's cat's fucking claw my leg, and I'm like, dude, what is going on? What are you doing? Why are you never like on top of the fridge? Or like, you're a cat, dude. You can get to such like cool places, and you choose under a table and my fucking leg every time. And I don't know if I got good legs, dude. I guess. I don't know. If I was a cat, I'd scratch at them, those fucking tree trunks. Maybe they think they're those fucking like cat treehouse things. I don't know, dude. But I just don't. I don't. I don't really like cats. I don't really like critters. I had a hamster growing up. My mom cooked it. She swear to God, dude. Hamster was on like a windowsill area, where the sun could definitely come in, but it wasn't ever really affecting the hamster. Dude, before we leave the house one day, she opens the curtains up and just cooks this thing. I come home, my hamster's dead. I was like, dude, what is going on? She goes, oh, I when you went, it was I lived in Cohoes. I went to Lansing's pool because it was a community pool, public pool. I went swimming. She goes, oh shit! I must have left the curtains open, and the hamster must have had a heat stroke or whatever, died in the sun. I was like, bro, what are we doing? I've owned two fucking animals outside of dogs, besides like fish, but fish or whatever, fish or fish. I got four big ass goldfish right now, actually. But when I was a kid, I owned a parakeet and a hamster. The parakeet killed itself. I swear to God, it fucking squeezed itself through these little like the little bird cage bars, dude, and it like fucking crushed its organs or something. It was flying around the house. We got it, we caught it, we put it back in the thing. It just dropped dead like an hour later. I was like, what the fuck? It like broke its neck or something. I don't understand what birds do. Birds even have a neck that could break? What did it crush? I see birds all the time in these little fucking like chimneys and liners and shit, and they don't die. What did he crush going through those bars? I don't understand it. The dude was dead in a fucking hour, and my mom cooked my hamster. So it's like I don't have the best of luck. I would love like a bearded dragon or like a cool lizard or something for my son. I don't have the best of luck with anything but dogs. So I just feel like it's not it's not in the cards for you, buddy. If you want like a cool lizard or something, that's gonna when you find religion when you're older, that's when you can find a fucking bearded dragon too. Find them at the same time. Oh, what else? Fucking the Glizzy King is banned from the hot dog eating contest. Something I didn't read what happened, but it was something with like sponsorships, right? One of his sponsors is like a plant-based hot dog, and they had some sort of dispute. How do you get banned from a hot dog? And you're the goat. You are the throat goat. You are the hot dog eating greatest of all time glizzy monster. And you're banned from a hot dog eating contest. That's fucking insane. That's like if John Jones actually was held accountable for everything he did in MMA, it was banned from the UFC. That's what that's like. that's that's like if GSP was banned from the UFC. That's insane that he's banned from eating hot dogs because of some dispute. I didn't really, like I said, I straight up headline read that, not gonna lie. But I feel like it was just like something to do with his sponsor, right? And he wouldn't eat a certain hot dog or something like that. I don't really know. But he got banned, dude. In fucking insane. I first thing I did was send the article to my buddy and I said I said, hey Dick Eater, now's your chance. The fucking the real throat goat can step up. And sure enough, I think he blocked me. So is what it is. He didn't actually. I don't even know if he just said like haha or something. Fucking I want to have a banter with somebody sometimes, and I always try to start when I that was a good little like quick thing to send. No banter. What are we doing? What happened to the good old days where somebody would have like fucking send something back to me? Now everybody's at work. Everybody's working. I'm in the warehouse fucking just firing off insults, and everybody else is working real jobs. He wasn't working. I think he was chaperoning his kid's field trip or some shit. to be completely honest, I don't even know where I'm going right now. Spiraling. Um, Jerry Logo died. Jerry West, dude, the logo. Dunsey. Rest in peace. I think he was like 80 something years old. 84, 89. I don't even remember. Somebody said, insane. Somebody was like, Jerry West would rather die than watch the Celtics win another championship. I was like, ah, that's fucking good. I hate when you see something like that and you're like, I wish I posted that before they did, or I wish I came up with that before they did. I'm sure there's a lot of people who made that same joke and it wasn't like that original of a thought, but I only saw one guy make it and I was like, that's an easy enough joke to make that you're like, fuck, that was my opportunity. So good on that person. I don't know, man. I think we're good. I think we're gonna wrap up. I just wanted to I really wanna like oh my god, dude. I really wanna kind of focus on growing this thing. I haven't really done a good job at doing that. So I want to try to really make it a focus, grow this thing. If you guys have people that you think would be interesting or anybody that like you'd want to suggest to me, send them my way. I'll talk to whoever if as long as they're interesting and I like what they do. I'll talk to whoever. Send them my way. Let's grow this thing. Share this thing. Share a good episode, you know. You know some of my solo episodes are fucking stinkers, and that's okay. That's fine. Share a good one. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you next week. The focus is definitely trying to put out these things weekly. It's 8:30 Wednesday. This is coming out 6 a.m. Thursday. So I want to try to stop skipping weeks, even if it means putting in a little bit of extra time the night before and getting this thing out there. So I'll do that if you guys share the hell out of this. Let's grow this thing and let's really work at making this more than. I just kind of treat it as a small little hobby. I didn't really put time into it. Now we got 2 monitors, we got some better equipment, better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Let's grow this bitch. See you guys next week. Enjoy.